Welcome to the episode of Middle Ground with JLE, L.L.C, where we treat you like family. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, from my first album, The JLE Experience. I own the music, the copyright. Don't mute nothing Facebook. You gotta say that nowadays. Right. We have another amazing guest for you today. We have America's awarded Optimist, certified Lean Six Sigma, Black Belt, Cssbb, certified Advanced Scrum Master, CSMI, certified Safe 5, ITILV4, MBA, MHA, PMP, MCSE, Global Infrastructure Strategist, Gina King. Welcome to the show.
I'm so happy to be here. I can't even.
I appreciate that.
I'm from Detroit, so I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, here we go. A few questions about you.
Absolutely.
First question, what led you on this path?
What led me on this path? I started out as a chemist. I graduated from Northwestern High School. And as a chemist, I thought that I would be able to get into making my own makeup and hair products, but I had an internship. And during that internship, I pretty much spent all my time checking the math and stats of other scientists. And they informed me that it would take me a good 15, 20 years to get to the point where I could come up with my own things. And so immediately I was turned off by that. I stuck with it. And how I ended up in IT is I had quite a few jobs. And one of them was I was a bank teller on Michigan Avenue at First Federal Bank. And one afternoon they lost connectivity to the computers, and I ended up on the phone with one of the service techs and had to do everything from reboot a server to dinking around with the routers and switches. And I really loved the immediate gratification of figuring out what the issues were. And so I just happened to ask the guy, how did you get into this? And I was surprised that he went to school for it, because I thought working with computers was kind of like messing around with the VCR. You just keep playing with the buttons till you figure it out.
Till you figure it out.
Okay. So that's what got me into it. And so I, at the time, a friend of mine was taking some technology certifications at the same time. And I was just so consumed with being able to get a book and learn something and then get a certification. I didn't have to go to class for 12 weeks and I was hooked. My attention span is, wait, what's that? My attention span is, so it's just long enough for my attention. Yeah.
Okay, we got a few people already. Gina Ragnar says, hey.
Hey.
Appreciate tuning in. We got David Burgess, a former guest. He has a great book out as well. Tampa, Florida, saying hi.
Hey, David.
And I appreciate the 6 stars, 6, 7 stars.
Yeah.
Man, so all this I just started learning how to do to put that across screen.
That's fantastic.
And be all high tech with it. All right, next question. What is a certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, Cssbb?
Yeah, so I spend a lot of my time managing global projects. And so there's a couple certifications that go with that. But the Six Sigma Black Belt, I think, is one of the top certifications that really helped me to wrap my mind around how to do things right and to get rid of waste and to use data to make decisions. So with some of the other certifications I've gone after, and we can talk about those, there's a lot of guesswork to it. But with the Six Sigma way of doing things, and it comes from how Toyotas are built, there's a whole history behind that. It's really about making decisions based on data, and it makes my job easy because we're all looking at the same thing. So I don't have to trade and barter as much, using some statistical analysis to get rid of waste, make decisions, and figure out what we're going to do for a project. So,
well, when I see Black Belt, I think of Bruce Lee, like she's sweet.
Yeah, they have different belts you can get. There's a white belt, green belt, all the way up, and then black belt. You spend so many hours managing so many of that type of project. So it's my favorite.
Now, you have the Certified Advanced Scrum Master, CSMI. What is that?
Yeah, so there are different methodologies, all those certifications having to do with philosophies of how you manage projects. And one of the things that I enjoy about some of the newer ones, Scrum and Safe, and some of that is I feel like that they align better with how people think, breaking large projects up into certain sprints instead of trying to make decisions across, a project that could take a year or two, which the industry changes, the technology changes and things, breaking it up in sprints, in 6 week, 8 week periods of time, because the organization is constantly changing. It really aligns better with my personality. And so I really enjoy that.
So what would be an example of that for just an average listener that might listen or re-listen?
Yeah, so say, for example, you are planning to move from one home to the next. It kind of makes sense to some people that they would plan absolutely everything out. But
Okay.
in doing that planning, if there's some work that can be done, you don't want to wait to the end of all your planning to start packing some boxes. You might be
Oh,
able to get to that, and then you realize, wait a minute, now that I've started packing some boxes, I need more boxes. You don't want to wait to the end where now I have 3 days to pack up my whole house to move. So there are some
okay.
certifications I have that set you up like that, where you plan to fail, fail, fail. Yeah, but
Okay.
there have been some improvements, luckily.
Now you got like a lot of initiative behind your name. That's pretty sure a lot of work to get all those.
It is, and a lot of people, when they look at my credentials and resume and that, they think I'm all about technology. That's not the case. What I'm about is helping my teams to do a good job, and so I use those tools to communicate to them. So to me, it's more akin to being a nurse than being in IT. I'm just trying to find a way to communicate with the business and with technology, with external vendors, and so I pick up those different skills so that I have a foundation of understanding, so that I can help my teams to do a great job.
Now I noticed you had mentioned about cybersecurity.
Yes.
Can you can you go a little further on what that entails?
Absolutely. Yeah. So often when people hear about cybersecurity, they immediately glaze over, like, what is that? But cybersecurity is really about protecting people, because what's at risk at every organization, especially small businesses, because when a small business is exposed, we're all exposed. Those are the families, those are the mom and pop
Mhm.
locations. They may not necessarily have all of the bells and whistles in terms of protecting data, and so, really, at the end of that data is someone's life, is their property, is their proprietary information. And so, early on in a lot of my projects, I would run into these security roadblocks where the project hadn't necessarily taken into account all of the cyber risk. And so, I started walking into organizations. I've only ever been a consultant. So, I walk into organizations looking for the cyber team. I want to understand their philosophies, what projects they have going on, and everything. And as a result, I'm able to help build some relationships between cyber and IT teams, so that the business can understand the risk that's at hand. So instead of just, so say for example, if you're moving from one home to the next, instead of just saying, well, I'll pack up my stuff and move it, some of your more key and critical pieces that have to do with your protected information, your credit cards, banking information, you want to have that in a particular box or a particular set of luggage that you keep your eye on, because you don't want somebody walking off with your credit
Now you don't
cards.
want some problems.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you want to pack those things up early, put them in a protected space. It doesn't make sense to lock your front door if all your windows open. So I
Good point.
enjoy teaching cybersecurity, teaching infrastructure about computers and how they connect and things, managing global projects. I just love working with teams. It's a lot of hard work, and so I respect the teams and the work that they do, and that's how I started working with cybersecurity. I've been doing it about 10 years now.
Oh wow. Now, have you ever had any pushback when you go out to the cyber team, see what their philosophy is and what you can do to help them? Or they're like, we our way works. Why you here?
That's a great question. Usually the cyber team is in the basement because nobody wants to talk to them. They're like the insurance salesman,
They're in
because
the basement.
in organizations where they haven't had a cyber attack, sometimes the business is like, why would we spend money on that? We haven't had a problem. And the cyber team is like, yeah, we want to keep it that way. So you need to invest. And so when
Exactly.
companies aren't able to do that and they have some type of cyber event, so usually when I approach a cyber team, they're like, "Wait, are you talking to us? We can come out the dungeon. You really want to? You really want to hear?" And I'm like, "Hey, yeah, come on out. I want to hear what you have to say."
Oh no, the dungeon. Dang.
Yeah.
That ain't right. That ain't
So
right at all. Now, what has been rewarding about teaching?
Oh
This
my goodness, I love teaching. So I've been teaching for over 10 years. I'm a professional teacher. I've won awards and I teach both bachelor's and master's level courses. What I love about it is, and I was also the dean of two technical colleges
oh,
for a period of time at the same time.
oh,
Um, the individuals that are in my classes are almost identical to the people that I work with.
okay.
And so it allows me to live multiple lifetimes at the same time. So I have a class of 30 individuals, and I get to hear what they're doing at their jobs and different ways that projects are unfolding for them. And at the same time, I get to share the things that I've learned to help them do better at their job. So we're all kind of learning. And so I do it for free. I can't believe I get paid to teach.
Now, have you ever had a student that's kind of new to it, and it gave you that like a baby walking type vibe?
Those are my favorite people. I love not only teaching people who are just coming into the industry, but people who are moving from other careers. So a teacher into project management or someone who's in automotive going to cyber. I love that because often organizations, and it's not their fault, they make it appear as if you have to leave your past to move forward. So you got to start up. That's not the case.
Okay.
That's not the, I can take a teacher and put her in cybersecurity or put him in cybersecurity and help them to, increase their salary by 10, 15%, just like that, by helping them to recognize that if I have a classroom full of students, there's a beginning and ending to that course. There's
Hmm.
specific things I need to teach. It's almost identical to managing a project.
Mm.
And so once you help them to understand that, it's easy to make that segue.
Sound like a coach. Put them in the game. Okay. We got Diane Parker. Hello, Jeffrey and Gina from Temple. Appreciate you tuning in. It's awesome. Um, what has been some of the challenges you dealt with so far?
Oh my goodness, it's all challenging. So you as a global project manager, I'm walking into an organization and I'm essentially building my own business and landing it on the eye of a needle amid their business is already running. So I'm taking a new capability, a new tool, a new system, and I'm building it where when I deploy it, it needs to work with everything else they already have. So the whole thing is a huge challenge. And not only understanding how the business already works. So when I do deploy or when I do put that system into production, it can work flawlessly, but understanding how I need to build it where I'm not just breaking everything when it's ready to go. Because I don't want to do the big bad thing at work. That's not, I don't want to do that.
Oh, no. Have you thought about writing a book about this stuff?
Have I thought about writing a book? I have. I've helped a lot of other people write books, but I don't entertain myself. Like I'm better with audience. If it's just me, I get tired of myself. It's just like I'm getting on my own nerves. I'm a Pisces, so I was born in February, so I got that duality where sometimes,
Okay.
yeah. So sometimes I get on my own nerves, but I love working with others.
Okay. What would you say has been the impact of this journey so far?
The impact of this journey. I would say the biggest thing is helping people to realize that um, often people think that organizations are these huge towers that it's difficult to work with companies, or they're looking at a job post thinking that they can't possibly get that job. And I think one of the biggest impacts I've been able to have is to help them understand that potential manager or that leader that they are submitting their resume or having an interview with, that person's looking for a partner because they have a lot on their plate too. So it's not like, hey, I'm Mr. Manager. I know everything. It's like, I'm a manager. I have responsibilities. My career is on the line. Can you come and partner with me and do the thing that I will pay you to do to help me? And so when people understand that, I think it closes a divide there between employee and employer where they can have a relationship and move forward. Because I like working for the type of managers that we have such a good relationship. If they call me and say, hey, it's a dead body, I say, well, let me grab my keys.
Okay.
That's the type of relationship I want to have, not someone where I feel that it's difficult to talk with them. Or if I'm spending 40 hours at a job, I want to do a good job. And so I think partnering with the employer and with the company is far better than just being an employee.
You're right. I could speak to that by being a custodial supervisor. My people always do their part and go above and beyond, and I try to make sure I'm here for you.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
just in
We
this
in
seat.
this together.
Whenever I get accolades, like, oh, this is awesome. Like, they can say I'm a jerk. I ain't doing nothing but the bare minimum. He can kick rocks, but they don't. So, no, it ain't
Exactly.
me. It's my team. No,
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. I
and you
always want
should
to help.
have that
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
That makes a business thrive, in my opinion, if you have
Yes.
that.
Yep.
That respect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you have to do some kamikaze mission at 2 a.m. on a Sunday, everybody's in. You don't want people to feel like, oh, that's not a part of my job. Or so you want to build that type of relationship where they recognize we're all here, we all have families and responsibilities. Let's do our best to make this thing move forward.
My boss asked me once. I had took a day off or something. Well, I walked through the building and everything flowing like a well-oiled machine. I'm like, they like make sure he good,
Yeah,
whether he's here or
absolutely.
not. I'm like, hey, salute.
Exactly. Yep. I love it when I'm working for managers and I go to tell them something or ask them something and they say, please stop coming to me. You know what I think already. Like you already know what I'm going to do. I love that because then I can get my work done because I have the philosophy and the mentality of the manager. And so now I can leave that person to do what they need to do and I can take care of this because they know that I have their best interest in mind.
Now, have you ever had a problem person that just bucked the system?
I love those people because at least I know they care. So when people are just doing whatever you tell them, they just whatever it is, flatline. It's like I can't tell if you doing it because I told you to, or you're doing it because it's the right thing. It's kind of difficult. But if someone's challenging, so I've gone to companies where someone's like, I don't know why you're taking on this project. It's failed 8 times before. Oh, I want to talk to you. You're my buddy. You're going to help me not fail time number 9. Do I need to send you a case of burners or M&Ms? Like, what do I need to do? You are the key
Okay.
because they care. They don't want to continue to fail. And so as a result, it helps me to turn projects around because of those people that voice their opinion.
Now, when you start out as a chemist and you switched over, did
Yeah.
you think you would be here?
Oh,
Or
absolutely not. No, not at all. I thought that I would when I initially got into technology, I was on the technical side. So I was building servers and, moving monitors and things. I had a project manager tell me, he was managing a whole bunch of projects. He said, I hate when you're on my projects. And it was in a room full of people, it was like 50 people. Yeah, I was like, dang, like what? He's
say
like,
what you
I
know.
hate. Yeah, I was like, he was like, I hate. He was like, because you over deliver, you do whatever you can to get the project done. And the problem with that is everybody's happy with you, but the very next time I do that project, I can't duplicate those results. And
Oh,
that's what made me go look up project management. Like this guy, he's saying this horrible thing about me. And that's where I realized there's a process, there's a method to how you get things done. Don't just do everything, make sure it's time for you to deal with the hot potato. Don't just take it all and do
oh
it.
yeah.
So that's what got me into project management, where before the team, everybody could just give me their work. I was happy to take it. Once I learned about project management and the process is kind of like, nope, that's not my task. These are my tasks. Let me stick to my task. And that's how I got into project management and trying to guard my team from inadvertent upset from the organization because I care about them and I want them to have a good time on the project.
I learned that in my last capstone class, one of the management classes, where it's a term for someone that's always a helper. The book
Yeah.
we had to read. And I was amazed that they had different terminologies for, oh, you're a protector, you're a
Yes.
caregiver, you're this leadership. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what I do. Okay.
Exactly. Yep. I got to be busy because let me tell you, I would get in everybody's business. They're like, this is sad. He's like, but we supposed to be over there. What are you?
Oh,
So I got to be busy. It's got to be complex. You got to load me up because I will get in some mess.
well, at least you're honest and know who you are.
Absolutely.
Oh man. Now your website,
Yes.
www.ovationpoint.com.
Ovation point. Mhm.
What will a consumer find there that want to do
Yeah,
business?
so I'm all about getting off the mediocre highway and getting to the ovation point. So I like to deliver technology and project management services, and I like to go beyond just results because results can be positive or negative. I not only want people to have positive results, because you can have a negative result too.
What
I
do you mean
want
by
you
that?
to have what was that?
What do you mean
Results.
by negative result?
So you always have a result.
Okay.
It could be negative. So everything's happening, just like consequence. A consequence could be positive or negative. You can have a so I want you not only have a positive result, but a result that allows you to get to where you're going beyond the expectation you originally had, where you would give whoever's doing that thing a standing ovation. And that's where your ovation point comes from. So not just doing the thing or doing a good job, but doing it to the point where you're just like, wow, she did that thing. And so they would find technology services, cyber services, staff augmentation, some career coaching, just whatever it is. I really just want people to
Now, what's that?
feel encouraged.
What's career coaching?
Yeah, in a scenario where an executive or someone wants to move from one position to another, or maybe they want to change industries or do something different, I kind of help them to reconcile that they don't just have to go with the job post, that there's a way to negotiate before you get to the negotiation where you can guarantee that you'll get the money you're looking for.
Okay.
I'm the one. I do it all the time. So I coach people to define their terms, because even some of the terminology that people use, it means something. And so there's an emotion, and as a result, they don't do as well as they should. And I try to clear the air of that and help them.
So they can't just walk up in there. I deserve 80 grand.
No, but you can get it though. You can get it. Yeah. And the key to that is making sure that the organization can see their future in what you've done, not just listen a bunch of tasks. Here's a chronicle of everything I've ever done. Don't do that. In that post, there's a future they're looking for. Show them that in your resume. Show them that. So they're envisioning you helping them to get to their future. Makes it a lot easier to negotiate, because now they're not against you. They're with you. They're imagining the same thing you are. So now you're all on the same side of the table. There's no opponent. You can ask for whatever you want.
Now, you ever thought about starting your own company?
Ovation Point is my own company.
Oh, okay. I know that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't see that on the thing on LinkedIn when I was looking.
Yeah, I don't want people to feel overwhelmed or intimidated. I'm delusional. So.
I mean, if you can have crush shots like Steph Curry, you gotta let them know.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Okay. Do you do speaking?
In my classes, nothing official except next month. So next month I will be talking at the Michigan Minority Diversity. There's a group that I'll be talking, so it'll probably be a recording. I'll try to get it to you, but I'm talking to them about cyber, how important it is to protect small business. And I'm talking to small businesses because in Michigan, small business is big business. 90% of the businesses in Michigan are small. And so when they're exposed, we're all exposed, because we're trying to work with each other. We're trying to work with bigger businesses. And I've worked on a couple large projects where we're evaluating external vendor who are these small businesses, and their cyber positioning is in the garbage, and it's just it's alarming. And I've mentioned this to a couple people. I did a couple small presentations, and some of the questions people had for me is just like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. And so I want to offer to be available to talk with them about how to improve how they protect data, especially if they're logging into a vendor's portal or using their iPhone to do their payroll and surf TikTok. Like, don't.
Oh, no.
Small businesses, sometimes people don't know. They don't
Not
know.
the payroll. Don't mess with the money. I make sure my people's stuff is in. Your checks are right, because we don't need to have WrestleMania, because I ain't taking no L. My checklist, hey man, I'll get it fixed, but let's keep it let's keep cordial now.
That's great, because I miss wrestling. I miss WWF.
Oh, yeah, it ain't so.
Yeah, I missed it.
And then get back to building all the characters and storytelling.
I know. And I'm waiting on football, because I love football strategy too. So,
your favorite team?
Not so much teams. I'm after coaches, so I love watching coaching strategy. So,
Okay. Who your favorite coaching strategy to watch?
Bill Belichick.
Ah, you ain't cheating. You ain't trying to win, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, if it's not illegal,
I mean, he's
take
one.
every advantage.
I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches. That's why some people know that are Brady fans or Patriots. Like, he's so great, he don't got to do it, but he do it just to do it. Like, come on,
This is real life. This is not it's not dress
it ain't
rehearsal.
a game.
Serious.
He gonna get every little bit of it. So he's a great time coach. I was gonna say he's a Lions fan.
Yeah. Just like, cyber attackers, like a lot of people think, cyber criminals. I feel like as a country, we kind of force people to get on the criminal side of things, but they keep us on our toes. So even though they're doing something that we would consider bad, we need to get better and
Yeah,
fast.
kind of like a chess match because
Exactly.
I come up
Exactly.
with new protocols, firewalls. Well, we gonna find a way to break it. Okay, we
Yeah.
got
We're
enough
just gonna keep
layer.
losing. Y'all just gonna keep losing, really? We're just gonna keep losing. Come on, up your game, up your game.
Now, I'll be speaking at Terry Brinston virtual conference next month for kids to help them in all aspects of life. I wonder if you might be interested to share a lot of your technical knowledge.
Absolutely. When Regina sent it to me, and it mentioned in there about kids and youth homes or whatever, in Detroit, I lived in a home for girls, like right across from Tiger Stadium. That's where I come from. So I would love to talk to them.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, I
I
sure
didn't know they
would.
had one over there.
Yep,
Okay, you came a long way. Look at you.
absolutely.
Resume so sweet. You don't even put everything on there.
I can't. I have a target on my back. I gotta leave some stuff off. You
Oh,
know,
that.
so in the future, you got to split this up where you have a certain part you record and then a certain part you don't record, so people can ask their real questions. We'll talk about
Um, I know I mean, people always, if they've got a question, they be over there.
that.
I
Absolutely.
don't mind. Add more to the show, make it better. You know.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll talk about
Anything
it.
else you would like to market or promote that you're doing?
Market or promote. So I was introduced to you by Regina Ragland from Upscale Promotions, and I love her because when I'm working with businesses, she helps me to pick out products to send to them that have the logo of my company, and it's the type of product that they'll never forget my company. It's something that is reusable. They can have it on their desk. Sometimes it could be like just a little candy dish, and it's got my logo, or maybe an ink pen or something special that I send to them is high quality stuff. So I would say Upscale Promotions, Essence Upscale Promotions, the name of our company. And
Yeah, I got you.
absolutely, we got to get your logo over there to her so you can have like a hat with your logo and different things so people can
Yeah,
see.
that's I need some merch. I gotta get that out here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
No,
do that. Yep.
you need to get
You
down
got to
with
set
middle
it up
people.
so all your guests get a little something so that they can remember you and watch, join your Facebook and your YouTube and everything. So we'll set it up.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, last question. What advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
Two things. Um, Make sure you get what you came for. So I see like a lot of websites, even LinkedIn, where they just perpetually waste your time. You have to figure out a way to focus and get the thing that you came to get, because they will BS you out your time. 2 years have passed, something you wanted to do, and you just get carried away. Figure out a way to focus your time, get what you came for. It's possible, but you have to focus. They're constantly trying to distract you with buying things and something political is happening and this. You have to find a way to focus. That's the first thing I would say. The second thing I would say is, for a very short period of time, because the everybody's feeling like they don't know what the economy is going to do and just everything's in the air. Nobody's at the gate. Whatever it is you want to do, this is an excellent time because so many people have no idea what's going to take place. Nobody is wasting time trying to keep you out of anything. This is a great time. And if somebody wants to reach out to me, I'll definitely try to help.
That's great advice.
Yep, yep.
Well, I want to thank the CEO of Ovation Point. I know that now.
Absolutely.
And the certified in Sigma 6 Advanced Scrum Master, SAFE. What is that IT? You just say ITIL?
ITIL? Yeah, ITIL. Yep. So that's a methodology about how you treat people when it comes to service. I'm very high on service and um, treating people the right way. So, for example, if you have a task and you have to pass it off to someone else, making sure you're passing it off in such a way that they can actually action what you give them versus just throwing it over the fence. They have to go run after it.
Oh, that kind of suck.
Yeah, having a process, you can kind of work together and collaborate. And if there's an issue, having a streamlined process versus sometimes the issues on a sticky note, other times it's in an email, some other times it's in the system. Like, let's have it streamlined. Let's try to work together and not be jerks at work. So,
You're so right. There's wisdom y'all getting when we do the replay or watching live.
absolutely.
So we get back to, because we got a lot of letters: MBA, MHA, PMP, MCSE. The Global Infrastructure Strategist, Gina King. Thank you for sharing your journey to help someone find a purpose and all the tech stuff. I didn't know that was going on out here. I learned a lot right now myself.
Excellent. Excellent. It was great to be here. Thank you.
I appreciate it. And anybody want to check the show out, you can watch the replay, share it. If you have learned something, maybe do the hashtag middle ground with JLE. Let people know one of my guests helped you find your purpose. That'd be awesome to know.
Your Patreon.
Yep. I have Patreon. You can go join.
Yep.
You get more exclusive content and Q&A interaction with me.
Absolutely.
I'm a VIP member. You can be a guest on the show, as well as suggest somebody. Get the up and coming merchandise I will have.
Yeah, if some people use your Patreon, I want to have a raffle and have some type of gift or something they get. So if they use your Patreon, let's say between today and next month at this time, we'll do a raffle and send something to whoever that is.
Okay, I'm down for
Okay.
that. Now, this is about to be the most epic outro that I created. It's still in progress work because need to have more stuff to it.
Okay.
I want to thank everybody. Hope you have a safe, blessed weekend. Thank the wonderful guest Gina King and all her certs. She's awesome. Until next time.
Thanks.